Can you explain to him though that if one of us wants to take the monitors out of his house and use it legally, we can?
No. I was not explaining it to him. I know, but I just don't think.
But legally we can, yes?
Yeah, fine. If he doesn't shoot, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's something we should need to worry about.
Yeah. If you really need it.
Yep, I want tomorrow.
Oh, they're your monitors,
I
bro.
want to watch porn on.
Alright, so,
What is life? I don't know, but I live it. What's she like? I don't know, but I did it. What's the price? I don't know, but I get it. I get it. I get it.
What are the things on your laptop?
I didn't realize that. I guess $500,000 mic could be.
I can't even use that phone, then the phone like overheats and it's a whole thing. So I'm like, this will that.
So, how many cameras do you guys use? This one?
This one, yeah, last night. So this one, I found out like it records like baby chunks of videos and like stops itself without telling us, but goes to another video. There's like 5-6 minute videos on there, which is actually smart. That one was here yesterday recording as like a backup thing, and we're actually gonna have to end up using that one as well. It's just yeah. But I want to use this more like podcast, but meetings like this. Like I want to start to create content. Did I tell you my idea of creating like the mockumentary with Vince?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I want to do. Have you seen the Netflix one where the dick drawings?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I heard about it.
I've heard about it too. I haven't actually seen it. I started watching it, and Chris and I were like, what the fuck is this? We thought it was real for a second. And so I want to do something like that, like really funny. And it's all gonna, I think maybe it could be called like the Miserable Doll Fan or something like that, where it's just gonna show how miserable it is to like be around Vince during Dolphin season, and we'll interview each of us, like a serious interview, be like what do you know, just talk about Vince and how much it sucks to be around him during Dolphin season or football season.
I was thinking today it's going to be hard when football season's back to record all this and have to get everything done in like 2-3 days.
I agree.
It's gonna be really.
We're gonna need help.
Or, you know what you should do is what day are grades due? Tuesday?
What for
The regular season.
NFL?
Yeah,
because we also have high school. So high school should be due like Saturday, Sunday. Because games happen Friday, so Sunday, let's say. And then we got.
Because during the season, I think the podcast should be just, hey, you know, week 2, this was the top rated quarterback. And then we just we talk about the quarterbacks, talk about the grades, and that's your episode to make it just quick, easy.
Well, then you got fantasy though. We should bring fantasy into that also.
100% agree. That's
makes it even longer.
Well, I wrote down 2 questions before I came over here. I said, which is something that we've talked about in the beginning. Who is our audience? And then how are we trying to bring value to them, right? So like ideally, the stuff that we're talking about now, like who's the audience for this in reality? Like no one's going to our stuff to just listen to us talk about quarterback grades. However, if you talk about how it relates to fantasy, or like Keith's idea of getting into gambling, like how does it play into the over-unders and stuff, Vegas lines and stuff, and can our grades reflect that or something? That brings value. So I think it's something we should talk about, but also, I mean, I don't know if you guys have an idea, and so it's like speeding up stuff like that, because you're right, when we get into the season, we have high school, and then we have grades for NFL, and then we're like, it's going to be a time crunch. It's going to be crazy.
We have plenty of content. It's just the time is going to be a problem.
We need to make a schedule. Like when I come home somewhere, like I was planning on spending some time on
School?
like preparing tweets for the regular season, like making a list and stuff.
Y'all?
Out, and then
Don't matter, y'all can use the Chicago.
I 100%. We started with one on. We can just continue with it on the drive. We just gotta stick to it, like the schedule. Because remember when we had like each day will be a theme, be like Throwback Thursdays, and we'll do an old stat or something, and then we'll do like something Wednesdays, or throw of the week or something where we do like
Yeah,
top 5 throws
if
of
we
the
can,
week.
we should post that during the week too, if we can remember.
Well, that's the thing is that that's why the schedule. If we remember, like if we just write down a schedule, that it's like we know we have to get the grades in, and then everything else for the rest of the week is content, creating visuals, writing about it, doing audio and video.
Yeah, like
and then next
top
week
5
start
throws
again.
of the week gets posted on Wednesdays.
Oh, and fantasy, yeah.
Quarterback throws a deep ball in stride, receiver catches it, runs the other 30 yards for the touchdown. They should get a little bit of credit for it. So we were saying 1 point. And same thing for a slant. So anytime Eli throws Odell a slant and he just catches it and splits the whole entire defense and runs straight, is on the money. That's it.
What's the easiest way to put it? Any ball,
touchdown pass that the receiver doesn't need to break tackle, or any touchdown that's not in the end zone that the receiver doesn't have to break stride for.
Okay, see, that gets a little tricky to me though, because if you run a slant, you have the safety here, and he just uses his speed to just outrun and just go by that safety. I mean, that's kind of more the receiver, not the quarterback.
Yeah, but it's an assist. It's just like if you throw the ball 30 yards downfield to the guy, it's because he blew by the safety. That's why he has an easy stride. It's on the receiver, right?
Yeah, but he still put it.
But either way you look at it, it's on the
deeper.
receiver, right? And he put him on the money ball to a guy to run past somebody.
He ran past him. The guy was already past him.
It's important.
I'm just throwing out different scenarios.
So
here,
the definition of though is it's an assist. It's not a touchdown. So I mean, I wouldn't focus so much on the touchdown assist. It's a way of giving the player some credit for scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Because on the stat board it counts as a touchdown, but we don't count it. So I mean, I guess it's a
And
way
it'd
of-
just be interesting to track.
Yeah, it's a way of reimbursing the quarterback.
There he is, and he's just like, ooh, oh my God, Mike's fucked up. We got him on the podcast right at the end. Like, yo, Mike, you're live. And he's like, oh, we live? Oh shit. Like, Mike, you drunk? He's like, I'm good.
It's like what they show you is usually what they're gonna do in a high school level, and he's like, yeah. So he's just like
Stone Age type shit.
I know. Well, and so it's interesting. It'll help if we know what he should be looking at, because then when we talk with these coaches, and we have to find out how the OC is going to teach this quarterback. Because once we understand that, then we're like, okay, if we know QB is supposed to be doing this and this on this certain play, then we can say, okay, he was supposed to, I don't know.
Exactly. Maybe they only want them to look at one read.
Right.
Maybe
Maybe they want to Maybe they want to make it so simple because
Exactly.
maybe he's not. Maybe the QB isn't. He's still
You
young or
can't
doesn't understand.
grasp the defenses, and maybe they will want him. Hey, if your first read isn't there, take off and run or something like that. So then we can't knock him for not going through his progressions if he's told your first progression's not there, because we don't have the above the center angle. So.
Oh, speaking of that, so I was talking with the guy underneath me. Just side thing, real quick. He was just like, he's like, oh, because his son is a tackle for Boca High School, and he's like, are you guys doing the drone? He's like, do you guys do the drones? And I was like, no, that's funny. He's like, how do they not do drones? He's like, Boca does drones. Like, we just bring the drones out there and it sits and watches the game film. And if like we could do that that'd be sick.
Yeah.
If we could get, now drones are expensive, but eventually we can get there. It's like a good one's like $800, $900.
Okay, so let Alec buy it and we can write it off for him. That's another thing. You need to understand that when I want to take the monitors out of your house and put them in my house, I can.
You only have 1/5 of the monitors, though. So
So
Yeah,
you
1/5.
only have 1/5 of them too.
Were you gonna say something, Mike?
I forgot I gotta get you money.
Can you explain to him though that if one of us wants to take the monitors out of his house and use it legally, we can?
No. I was
That's what
not
you
explaining
told
it to him. I know, but I just don't think it's...
But legally we can, yes?
Yeah, fine. If he doesn't shoot, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's something we should need to worry about.
Yeah. If you really need it.
Yep, I want to borrow.
If you're thinking monitors,
I
bro.
want to watch porn on.
Alright, so, what do you guys feel good, just overall, right? The details we're about to get into, I want to see what we can each split up. because we need to. I'm gonna find out a direct date of when we need to get this done by in April. But he said April, which is a week away, and then we got 4 weeks. Say it's the end of April. We have 4 weeks. Now we don't need to finish every single game, but we should have like, let's say 3 games under our belt. Or even 2 games, but a solid plan that we can bring to them and be like, here's what we want to produce for you, get their feedback. Obviously, we need feedback from them and say, like, just to show them, we're not here just to show, we're not fans of the game and just give you numbers. We're actually going to help you and your quarterback improve.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
How many games did they play this season?
I think they went 7-2.
Do we need to grade every game?
Eventually, yes, but I don't think by April.
Okay, I was gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
we can just,
We just need to get a proof of concept down.
I don't know what my availability is gonna be this month because I'll have finals. So-
Yeah. Okay. No, we'll figure it out. Well, that's what. All right, that's a good segue. Then we should talk about what we can each split up. Because honestly, if the thing that's going to take the longest, I'm going to tell you guys now. I think it's going to take the longest because I did it for Pompano and it was a pain for freaking 12 throws, 13 throws. Well, he had some scrambles too. Is listing out the detail behind what happened, what yard marker it was on, what's the down, what's all that stupid stuff that we can get to the real fun stuff. Once we get that down, that's a section, right? That's part of one of us needs to do that. Another one needs to be let's split it up now. I mean, let's talk about it now. What can each of us split up? Such a short amount of time.
We pay attention to his mechanics. Like he's, he towards the end, like he starts to drop his arm, which
We can
causes
pay attention to it if you want to write a note, but there's nothing. We're not pros. Like,
But
we
no,
don't
that
understand-
to give them. So like, be like, hey, towards the end of the game, he
You're
gets
starting to
very.
see a difference.
I'm starting to see
I
that he's
agree.
very careless with his footwork and his arm work. In the beginning of the game, he's throwing high and tight. Towards the end of the game, he's dropping his arm, causing a longer windup.
Heck yeah, that's
Yeah, write that down.
yeah, but
Mechanics.
you have to be able to.
That would be mechanic. That would be more.
Because now, I mean, I'm
You have
paying
to write
attention to
that
that
in notes.
stuff. I'm paying attention to that stuff all the time now. Doing my scouting reports, I'm looking at their footwork, looking at their
So
arm.
that should be part of time to release. So the person that measures time to release, we can break it up into sections of like, whatever we call it, throw guy. All right. Yeah, we can measure like time to release, mechanics if you want to call it that, and then I don't know whatever else.
Alright.